Here's something fun. A new Spinosaurus has been found. Or actually, a new species of Spinosaurus. From Natural History Museum. New saber-crested Spinosaurus species named from desert dinosaur fossils by James Ashworth. A striking Spinosaurus skull found in the Sahara Desert has been named a new species, with a large sword-shaped crest on its head. Spinosaurus mirabilis would have been able to attract mates and compete with rivals. With its horn? Okay. So the new one is called Spinosaurus mirabilis. The one that you're thinking of from Jurassic Park 3, that's the Spinosaurus aegypticus. That is a different dinosaur, well, I guess for a different species of Spinosaurus than this one that we're talking about today. Also, the Spinosaurus in Jurassic Park 3 is not really an actual Spinosaurus. It's what the director and visual designers thought their Spinosaurus should look like, but it doesn't really look anything like a real Spinosaurus. Well, I mean, it looks similar, just they got a few things wrong about it. Anyway, astonishing fossils discovered in Niger have been identified as a new species of Spinosaurus. When do they find these fossils? Because usually they find fossils, dig up fossils, and they sort of just ship them off to a museum, but they don't really get to them until they have a huge backlog of fossils they have to go through in those museums and stuff. So some bones and fossils can be left there for many
years before the scientists get to them and then discover what it is. And if it's when a scientific expedition first encountered scimitar-shaped bones in the Sahara Desert, they weren't sure what to make of them. Further research revealed that they belonged to a previously unknown species, which has now been named Spinosaurus mirabilis. A study published in the journal Science has revealed this 95-million-year-old dinosaur had a distinctive curved crest on top of its head. The scimitar-shaped bones would have been covered in a layer of keratin, similar to the casque of a cassowary, which would have made the crest even longer in life. That's interesting. Along with a sail running along its back, the crest would have helped S. mirabilis to stand out in the ancient wetlands of North Africa. They might have been used to catch the attention of potential mates or to scare rivals away from its territory. Professor Paul Sereno, the lead author of the study, says that the amazing find gives an insight into the life of this fish-eating dinosaur. I envisioned Spinosaurus mirabilis as a kind of hell heron, Paul says. It would have had no problem wading on its sturdy legs into the 2 meters of water, but probably spent most of its time stalking shallower traps for the many large fish of the day. Yeah. Dr. David Hone, a paleontologist from Queen Mary University of London, who was not involved in the research. Well, why are we talking about him then? If he's not involved at all, why? But what's he doing here? Welcomed the discovery of the fossils. He added that while the fossils confirmed some theories about the dinosaur, many other questions about the Spinosaurus remain open. We've known that Spinosaurus had a crest and that it lived around water for some time, explains David. The difference here is that Spinosaurus mirabilis had a much bigger crest than previously named species and lived in an area these dinosaurs hadn't been found in before. Again, I'd like to know when they dug this up. Was this dug up recently? Or is it like fast track to the head of the line of research? Unfortunately, the fossils in this study don't tell us much more than that about Spinosaurus and its relatives. We need to discover better preserved specimens to find out more about these poorly known dinosaurs. So what's this? The team discovered fossils from multiple Spinosaurus mirabilis, helping them to reconstruct the dinosaur. Is that what is this? So what's this? Is this some kind of ticket? Or 10 cent? Oh, so this is 10. This bit's 10 centimeters. So this is pretty. Wow, that's pretty big. So what is this? Is this a jawbone? Is it a foot bone? Is it what bone is this? Why is it impressive that it's that big? How was Spinosaurus mirabilis discovered? While today the Sahara Desert is among the driest places on Earth, it's not always been that way. For millions of years during the Cretaceous period, the Portian in Niger would have been covered by a network of rivers that supported a rich forest ecosystem. Western scientists have known about the region's fossils since 1950s, when French geologists looking for uranium came across large bones emerging from the sand at Gadoufoa. Since then, expeditions to the site have discovered a variety of animals, such as the crocodile-like Sarcosuchus, and herbivorous dinosaurs such as Nigersaurus. Nearby, the geologist Hughes Fowler found another fossil site at Acrorhizurus. He found teeth similar to those of the huge carnivorous dinosaur Kakarodontosaurus. See, that one's named after the great white shark. The Kakaro... Kakarocarcarius is like the scientific name of Carcarius. That's scientific name of great white shark. So they sort of gave the Kakarodontosaurus. It was named after that, which could grow to more than 12 meters long. However, the remote site was subsequently forgotten about by scientists until the authors of this study mounted a new expedition to the area. Because of the teeth, that's why they called it that. Because its teeth reminded them of shark teeth. No one had been back to that tooth site for over 70 years. Wow. Man. Archaeology is very slow, isn't it? I guess paleontology is... Well, I guess science, any kind of, like, digging up of old things is very slow doings. Paul recalls, it was an adventure and a half wandering into the sand seas to search for this locale, and then find an even more remote fossil area with the new species. The team were led to a third site known as Jangube by a local man who had seen fossils in the desert. Subsequent excavations revealed more Kakarodontosaurus fossils, alongside other from Titanosaurus. That's the actual dinosaur, not the monster from the Godzilla movies. Fish and the remains of a Spinosaurus mirabilis. Look at that guy. That big horn on his head, or I guess crest on his head. I like that big sail and that big flat tail. I think this part, the flat tail, is like the... it's assumed. Like, they didn't actually find a big flat tail, they just, like, assume that's what it is. Or it's guessed that it... It's thought that Spinosaurus mirabilis used its crest and sail to display to other members of its species. The shape of the dinosaur's head, as well as its interlocking teeth, mean that researchers are fairly certain that S. mirabilis ate fish, but some scientists have suggested Spinosaurus might have dived after its prey. Analysis of the dinosaur's shape suggests that it probably hunted fish from the shoreline or waded into the water instead. Less certain is the dinosaur's overall size, as all known specimens of S. mirabilis aren't fully grown, and the researchers estimate that dinosaur was probably around 8 meters long when it died, but that it could have grown substantially bigger. It's one of the many puzzles that continue to perplex the scientists working to understand Spinosaurus. Ow. How much more is there? Okay. The ongoing mystery of the Spinosaurus, that's the skull. That's the skull without the horn. Oh no, this is so this is the Spinosaurus mirabilis. This is Spinosaurus aegypticus. He didn't have a crest. The head was kind of bigger. His jaw was a bit smaller. Yeah. The ongoing mystery of the Spinosaurus. The Spinosaurus has become famous thanks to its unusual appearance and starring role in Jurassic Park 3. Surprisingly little is known about this animal or its relatives. The original species, Spinosaurus aegypticus, was named by Ernest Romer in 1915, and its fossils later went on display at the Paleontologists Museum München. Unfortunately, during a bombing raid in World War II, these fossils were destroyed. Aw. I hate it when like old things are destroyed. Like the things that can't be replaced. This caused research into Spinosaurus to grind to a halt. It wasn't until the 1980s when it really kicked off again, following the discovery of baryonyx. In the UK, around a fifth of the skeleton was discovered, providing new insights that helped to reignite interest in the Spinosaurus. A number of new Spinosaurus species, such as Suchomimus, that's a Spinosaurus, were subsequently named in the years that followed. In 2014, this culminated in a newly discovered Spinosaurus aegypticus skeleton from Morocco, which was used as the new type specimen for the species. Spinosaurus mirabilis now adds a few more pieces to the jigsaw, but questions still remain about the Spinosaurus. The skeletons of many species are often fragmentary and incomplete, meaning that some basic details of what these dinosaurs look like are still unknown. Specimens do exist that could resolve this puzzle, but Dave says that they're not yet being fully investigated by scientists. Well, what's going on, scientists? Let's get on it. Come on, start investigating. Want to know about it. What, you having like problems with funding? What is it, because people don't really care about this stuff, don't care about science, and they're not willing to fund it, and they're not willing to like give time and resources to it? No, it's a conspiracy. It has to be a conspiracy. They're trying to hide it from us. Because the Spinosaurus is actually built the pyramids. That's what the scientists are trying to hide from us. We've known that there are more complete skeletons of Spinosaurus out there, sometime for decades, but these fossils haven't been studied in depth, he concludes. It's fairly basic science, but it would go a long way to improving our understanding of these animals. Getting the Spinosaurus skeleton studied would probably answer many of the questions we have about some of the most obscure and least known groups of dinosaurs. Yeah, studying really helps solve the mysteries of things you don't know yet, so... yeah. Look at all this dinosaur art. Largest carnivorous dinosaur in Europe, unearthed in the Isle of Wight. Largest carnivorous dinosaur. Oh, in Europe, not in the world. So yeah, that's interesting. New Spinosauruses. I didn't know that the Suchomimus was a Spinosaur, species of Spinosaur. That's pretty fascinating. That's pretty cool to know, to learn. I'll learn something new about it. That's cool. Yeah. So, when are we gonna get more updates on this? Probably not for a very long time, because studies usually are very slow going. Yeah. Well, there we go. New Spinosaurus. What do you think? Do you, what do you want to see from the new Spinosaurus? Yeah. Tell me below in the comments. What's your favorite Spinosaurus? Yeah. And, what do we want to learn? Did the Spinosaurus actually build the pyramids? And the scientists are actually covering it up? Or the Spinosaurus is actually aliens? And they were secretly controlling humanity this whole time. Yeah. They're responsible for building all the ancient stuff that we know little about. Turns out. Alright. And there we go.